Okay. Hello to anybody who might be out there. It is, as I am recording and streaming this, it is, the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere. And yet, here we are in game, dead middle of winter. Let's do this. I suppose if you're in the southern hemisphere by any chance, then this lines up perfectly fine. Alright, so I'm not going to spend very much time. Let's just go ahead and dive right into it. We have another set of 4 weeks of winter to get through in this session, and then the next one should be, by the usual patterning, the last. By the usual patterning. So, let's get to it. Alright, we are in expert mode. We are on winter week 5. We've been taking care of various individuals with various ailments. Typically, if I get too many of the same ailment in the row, I've kind of just been taking the, not loss of reputation, but the non-gain of reputation and just going to lower level ailments, because quite frankly, at this point, I think that we're gonna be fine. So, I'm more interested in getting variety than in leveling up the reputation number any further. Though, it's always nice to have a safeguard in case I really mess up at some point. We are rolling in silver thanks to Elgiva and the treatment room, among other things such as our copious amounts of sweets. And that is allowing us to get some very nice locale upgrades. Not actual locales, but the upgrades of miniature versions of them just outside the hut. So, let's do this. Our first ailment of the session is a 9. We have done vampirism before. We could do it again, but let's see what the lower stuff is. Fairy fever we've dealt with. Ventriloquist cough we've dealt with. Novice ailments, magnetic thumb. Okay, we've gone all the way down. Apparently we've drawn 9s enough times dealing with various ailments that it's just kind of a mix. So, you know what? Let's just go ahead and go to the top. Let's do vampirism. Who has come down with vampirism? I believe a diamond is a traveler. It's a visitor. Not necessarily a resident of High Rannoch, but somebody who is passing through. So, I believe we've got some various travelers that we can kind of pull from, that we haven't really healed before, but we've met. So, let's see who's interesting. I've got, technically Simon the Symphony hasn't ever been healed of anything. He's just our one-man band. We can leave him as such if we want him to just stay silly. Orion the Air Sailor was one of those that we rescued from the islands because there is a absolute rash of air sailors getting stranded up there every couple of weeks. He has never been, he's never visited with an ailment, so I can't speak. So that's a possibility. There's Erowin the Doomsayer, a traveling astrologer and conspiracy theorist, a contribution that was given to me as a character. I actually haven't used her for any ailments. I don't think that I've had that much occasion to. There's Fabian the Thrill Seeker, again a rescue from the Cloud Isles with the wingsuit, very recent. A couple of adventuring parties, one of which we haven't really touched as far as ailments and healing and stuff goes. So I feel like vampirism, Orion the Air Sailor, Fabian is a damn good vampire name, I'm gonna be honest. Or Erowin the Doomsayer, the traveling astrologer and conspiracy theorist. It's possible that one, you know what? I was gifted this NPC. I should go ahead and try to use her at some point. So I think that our astrologer and conspiracy theorist has come down with a rogue case of vampirism. There's probably some conspiracy that she believes about this. I am not necessarily all that creative in coming up with the conspiracy theories for fiction, though. So, let's go ahead. I need to go ahead and make my quick bits of notes. Copy that. Let's see, just showed up with an advancing case of vampirism. Alright, I know. You know the whole, it's not a conspiracy theory thing, but it's like, adjacent. The whole thing with the, oh, you can cure your everything with these essential oils. Oh, she's trying to cure herself. She's been trying to treat it with essential oils. She's trying to treat it with essential oils and perfumes to clear the bad air. Hasn't really been working all that well. The night vision, on the other hand, has kind of been great. She can read her star charts by the stars themselves. Isn't that just lovely? Alright. So we've got a timer of 6, but that's, again, subject to our usual increases. Goes up to 11. For our to-do list, we need burn 2, we need blood 3, and we need curse 3. Alright. So, let's go ahead and see what options there are. First of all, we've got all of our freebies. So, number 1, there's always Candy Rock. It's not going to cure anything, but oh boy, is it gonna add value to the potion. Okay, senses and magic. We've got pain, sleep, nerves, and wound. Burn, foot fungus. It is right heckin' there, and it even adds 2 points of poison we will get rid of very easily. Okay, that's an option. Curse from Amethyst Antlers is an option. We can always do the hard mode and see, yep, Surgeon Sap Burn. It's even better than the stupid foot fungus because it adds sweet instead of poison. We could do hard mode and see if we can find something that cures it perfectly. I am not sure if that's the case. And right now I do not want to scroll up my notes and see what I did for vampirism last time. So, I actually don't have anything for blood in my always available stuff, so that's interesting. It's alright. Okay. So there's nothing in my available stuff that will cure just what's needed and no more. That covers just these and nothing extra. So I'm gonna just keep that on the side real quick, and I think it's time to just kind of go down the list. So, Reagents of Heroes Hollow. Is there anything, and I can check again for broad stuff later, but is there anything that does just these things? Or just, like, a couple of these things? It might be the case that no. The answer is no. But Vampire Venom. I remember that. I remember Vampire Venom. That's actually a very good one. Because it covers just the one thing there. And it's very fitting. So, I can distill that to cover Curse. It is 3 stars, so I'm just going to hold on to that. So we're after Burn 2 and Blood 3 and the possibility of doing it perfectly. If at all possible. That's got Burn, but a ton of other things that I don't need. I don't think there's anything that does just Burn and Blood, to be very fair. So, this is probably going to be a moot point. Oh, Moon Moss is even better than Vampire Venom. It does Blood and Curse at 3 stars. So if I can find something that does just Burn and is at least 2, then I am all set. That might be the hard part. Okay, hold on. Just gonna hold on to the moon moss thought as well. And golden scale guppy. Never mind, never mind. I have found the perfect combo. I have found it. It's, it is a single jot of moon moss that covers blood and curse at 3 stars each, and a single jot of golden scale guppy that's 2 stars, and... No, wait, that's blood! Oh, bugger! I confused blood for burn. That's my bad. Okay. Excitement reeled back. I need burn, not blood. Heck. I was like, God damn, I have it! No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay, let's see. There's that tiny little part of me that does not want to do it myself, but does want to know if anybody has ever gone through and, like, categorized every single possible cure for every single ailment, and categorized which ones it's even possible to do the perfection in. Because some of these just, you know, the overlaps are just too much. They just, the thing that you need is not isolated at all and is packed with too many other things. Because, yeah, I don't think burn exists as a separate cure in anything. It's always paired with at least one other thing, if not more. So, okay, there is no perfection for vampirism. The best I can do is Surgeon Sap and Moon Moss, just for, like, doing the fewest possible, elements. So, if that's all we need, then that makes it relatively simple as far as gathering goes. Moon Moose? Moon Moss is terrible. I always try to type Moon Moose. Okay, that's Isles 6. It is a plant, and so I'm not getting any bonuses, so it just stays Isle 6. For Surgeon Sap. Bog 3. Really? One sweet, and because I do need to note that. So we are adding crushed up moon moss and raw surgeon sap. That seems like it would have a very interesting texture. I think that once again, we are kind of combining something, because moss is kind of spongy usually. If you crush it, it might release some juices, I guess. So might have something to do with it. The surgeon sap is going to be thick and sticky sweet. If you're combining them into like a water base for a potion, then I guess you could make something drinkable, like with the juices and stuff. However, I'm just also imagining like the ability to roll these into little little green pearl pills. I guess moon moss isn't green, it's white. Little white pearl pills. Okay, let's see. So, simple as this. We are going into the bog, and that should be over relatively quickly. Come to that, I don't know if... did I ever get... I did pick up Surgeon Sap, so I technically don't have to go into the bog at all. Hold on a second. I got Glacier Moss instead of Moon Moss, so I do need to go to the Isles. So, we always have Surgeon Sap on hand. We genuinely, like, this has become extremely, like, almost unnecessary at this point. But, you know, we'll honor it all the same. Let's go ahead and head up to the Cloud Isles. There's my exploration spread, and there's my music. And let's find a bit of moon moss. So we are going for 6 or better. An ace definitely does not do it. Go ahead and add those and see what an ace does. Oh, god damn it, it's another of the animals. Foraging around on one of the larger islands, you come across an animal that could have never gotten up here on its own. What is it? Do you escort it back to its original locale? If so, how does that go? Decrease timer by 1 if you do. I think that at this point, this has gotten ridiculous enough that I can only say that there is a ridiculous thing on the isle. One of the larger islands, as we're searching for moon moss, currently is hosting... Oh, how silly can it get? Currently is hosting an elephant. How did it get up here? We don't know. It's just there. We're not getting it back anywhere. It's an elephant. We are going to look at that, decide, you know what, it's apparently been up here a while, it is clearly acclimatized to the area, we're gonna leave it at that, and we're going to move on. Alright, an 8 is definitely enough to get us our 1 bit of moon moss that we need. It also causes us to come across an island that houses a very large cave. As you peer in, you spy a wyvern. Oh, our old friend. It's time to play chase and tag. It spots you as well and roars so loud the island shakes. It chases you between the islands until you manage to pull off some daring maneuver and lose it. You lose 3 foraging points, but that does not matter to us because we did manage to snatch some moon moss from the outside of the cave before we tore off on our broom to escape. Okay. And with that, frankly, we have fully collected what we need to make this potion. We can just end this here and just call it, honestly. We can move so fast. However, is it worth potentially, hold on, trying to grab some Museum of Magic stuff? Is there anything that I can collect from the Isles that I haven't yet? Moon Lotus. I could collect some Moon Lotus for the, for this. Nimbus Fish. Fair's fair. Star Shards. Glacier Moss, technically. I could get some more Moon Moss for them. So all of these are certainly options. Let's just, I guess, one way to do it is just kind of go down the list, see how far we can get. The Moon Lotus at 2, we will get in one shot, basically. I'm just going to go straight into edit mode, actually. It takes up more space, but I am not going to duck in and out of it at all. Where is... It's below the depths. Here we go. So, we're going to try and collect a wee little bit of Moon Lotus. So, let's draw the card and see what we get. A 2 is just what we need. But also, as you're passing between 2 islands, a cloud shark leaps out of the clouds and takes a bite at you. Thankfully, it was just a scrape. Decrease timer by 1. It's alright. We just got a little bit of time scared out of us, but we'll be okay. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, I think I messed up my, my formatting. The ones that are bolded are the ones that we found. So technically, if we were going for something, it would probably be ambergris. Okay, we'll go for the ambergris. So I'm just gonna boop, boop, put those on. We're going for actually Isles 9. Alright, alright. I confused my own, I confused myself, to be honest. Okay. Let's just go ahead and keep going. We're just looking for this thing. 7 is not quite enough again. So we're just gonna boop, boop, put those up. Alright. Guys, you'll never guess what we just found. Once again, there is a island with help spelled out on with rocks. You know, there is genuinely, like, I'm looking at all of these options. We have never in the Cloud Isles gotten a 6 because I've never gotten that event. There are other events on here that I think I've only gotten maybe once. Once, ever. And then there are a couple that I've gotten so many times, one of which is the animal on the island, the other which is the castaway or the unfortunate island, like, sailor on the island. I've gotten those two so many times. How have I gotten those two so many times? I swear this is the Baron all over again. I don't know what's going on. My luck is apparently weird. Like, I can't even blame, even if that's the case, which it might be. That RNG is completely divorced from where I am foraging at any given time, what I am drawing the card for at any given time. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. So, we have found a sailor that is on the island and is rushing out, and they look like they've been here for weeks. How'd they end up here? Do we rescue them? Who the hell are they? Alright, I got my name list. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, I'm one page over from my name list. There we go. What the hell? Alright, it's either Usk or Tori. Let's go with Tori. Alright, so we have rescued an air sailor who fell off the ship in a storm. We've rescued an air sailor who was marooned intentionally by his crew and is trying to keep his head down. We have rescued a thrill seeker who had built his own custom solid, like, wingsuit, and it tore, and he's in a bad spot and couldn't get down. How the hell did this one end up here? How did this one end up here? Because those are the 3 that I can remember. There might have been a 4th that I am just not recalling right now. Is it just kind of the same story as, what was it, Orion? Just got knocked off, picked up there. Okay. So, just for a little bit of variety, Tori is a, like, either a former or an on and off again adventurer herself. Her latest adventures rewarded her richly enough that she was able to, purchase her own very small air vessel. Like a lifelong dream, and she's decided to try, mercantile air sailing. You know what? Let's world build a little bit. There are sky pirates. And she was, en route over the Isles, set upon, and her ship and her supplies were stolen. She got left on the island to fend for herself. Luckily, she had enough knowledge from adventuring days to basically keep herself alive and going for this long. The 5 silver that we get for rescuing her, basically, is just the little bit that she had tucked into, like, one of her shoes or something, old holdover for when she traveled a lot and knew how to avoid pickpockets. She doesn't really have much in the way of other belongings at the moment. And it's not even all her silver. She does have some secreted around just to get herself going again. But it's a hell of a blow, and she's probably gonna have to go pick up adventuring again. Okay. So, technically, that is going to be a little 5 silver thing as we rescue her, though it doesn't take time. 23, there we go. Alright. Okay, we still haven't gotten the ambergris for the bonus thing, but that's okay. And ace. Yeah, the 1 is not enough. We're at 6. We need 9. Alright. Ace is another of the animals on the islands that couldn't have gotten up there, and we are not going to deal with. I'm gonna be very honest. There's an otter up on one of the sky islands, like, gambling around in little sky streams. We're leaving it be. A 10 is actually going to be enough to find the ambergris. So, what does a 10 do for us? Oh, this is one of those that I've only ever gotten once before up here. A passing airship captain invites you aboard to warm your bones and get some cloud tea. Where are they headed and why? Let's further the concept of sky pirates. This is a captain of a fighting ship. They are actually going around the area trying to patrol for sky pirates, trying to find where their base is. We can pass along Tori's story and basically go, yeah, I set her down on the mountain so she could get down to Hyranak a little bit ago. You could probably catch up with her there. So we will say that that is the encounter. Okay, honestly, Tori might actually join up with them if there's any chance of, like, number 1, adventure in the skies, number 2, get those goddamn pirates that stole her stuff. Okay. I can't remember if I bumped this down. I'm just gonna do one for just in case. Alright, good enough, I think. I think most of these are now mountain and stuff. We've gotten pretty much everything from the Isles at this point. 'Cause, yeah. Loch depths, things like that. Technically, you can get rat spit on the Isles, but I think we're pretty good for now. So, we'll go ahead and head back. Collect some surgeon sap from our greenhouse. and mix up some Moon Pearl Potion. And then somehow convince Erwin that this is not big pharma. This is a homemade cure, very natural. Yeah, so natural. Like, you would not believe how natural this is. It's all hand-foraged plants, literally. Okay. You know what? I think that we're gonna do the usual. We're gonna add Candy Rock from our magic mini mountain for 4 points of sweet. We've got the fox, adding another sweet. The Surgeon's app is another sweet. We're going to add another sweet from a hive because this is getting ridiculous. God, I'm gonna be using up the sun sugar like this last bit of the season. Just that'll finish our sun sugar for the year. No, it's a year's supply, so it goes technically through spring as well. Not that I'm continuing playing at that point, but... Oh, gosh. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 more is 7 points of sweet. That'll make your teeth curl. Oh, man. Yeah, I think it's like 4 silver? Yeah, 4 silver per point of sweetness with no cap. What's 4 times 7? 28. So that's 28. I need... Where's my calculator? There we go. So, 50 and 28, and plus another 50%. Let's see, times 0.5. Yeah, that's 117 silver. Oh, I forgot the treatment room. It's not 117 silver. Hold on a second. Plus another 10 for the treatment room. Times 0.5. That's 132 silver. For a single potion. At this point, I am playing mechanics and not narrative. I'm gonna be so honest. It is so ridiculous. That puts us at 355. So yeah, we can absolutely afford another special locale upgrade if we want. And just slap more. No, wait, not quite. That's 500 silver, not 300. I was thinking of it's the paddock that's 300. It's not even worth the paddock at this point. It's not even worth it. Oh no. Oh no. This is getting ridiculous. Okay. Technically, it's downtime. Technically, it's downtime. Okay. Oh, no. You know, I feel like one thing that can be done with downtime, really is... Oh, for one thing that, for one thing our apprentice can pick up one, ingredient on downtime, and I think I'm just gonna have them continue the Museum of Magic sort of gathering of things. I'll send them after something that's relatively easy. No, you know what? I think that she should go for a Princess Toad. I think that it's time to just introduce her to some of the animals of the forest and bog. So she will be busy chasing toads for basically the duration of our downtime. In the meanwhile, we could just make wands and therefore make money. I've also had the thought of narratively tying the wand making into the completion of the Agatha story at some point. So I established that there's a sort of impenetrable bubble of magic, something that can't be broken through, a barrier that also causes a mild forgetfulness, in regards specifically to its, like, existence. The reason why it hasn't basically become a huge source of rumor mongering at the time. A huge source of curiosity is the word I was actually looking for, and I couldn't think of it. But, like, the spawning point of rumors. So, I think that I want the potential eventual solving of that problem to come from crafting a wand with multiple ingredient cores. So, I can't seem to just add things sometimes. There we go. So we're gonna just go to edit. We're gonna go barrier wand, and I'm just gonna go ahead and list some elements. I think that they should be, I feel like it's only fair for everything to be, like, level 3 involved in this. So, magic 3 makes sense. After that, it's possible that curse might be involved. It's possible. I don't think that there's anything for memory. The closest you get is kind of mood. And I don't feel like that's quite right. There's senses that comes fairly close to mind, in a way. There's spirit, though usually that has to do with, like, ghosts, spirits, that kind of thing. Time has some potential. I feel like time has some potential in the situation, even if I don't have, like, a strong, like, sense of the identity of the thing requiring that by any means. So let's see. Magic is a definite. Curse seems like a fair choice. Spirit or senses seems like it could fit, but in a less distinct way. So it's possible that those might be 2 stars instead of 3, just because they're more minor. There's not as strong of a link. However, I think that that could be offset by basically requiring more things in order to solve this anyway. So let's go with Spirit 2, Senses 2. Alright. Okay, what other requirements should I put on here? Should it require a particular type of wood? Should it require me to get some particular type of wood from one of the, oh, I could require getting, like, particular type of wood from one of those, like major, like, boss, encounters in one of the regions. And I could leave it open, where it's like, oh, hold on. Like a wood or a gem or fitting or something like that, but I need some element from something powerful. Let me go down the lists. Glimmerwood Grove. Let's see. Oh, I've never gotten the king in Glimmerwood Grove. To be fair, the unicorn would be a fair choice. That is a queen, in Glimmerwood. Requires a powerful contribution of some kind from any one of the following. Unicorn of Glimmerwood Grove, which is queen. Let's see. The king one doesn't make as much sense, to be quite honest, for Glimmerwood. The unicorn seems like a very powerful option, however. Blastfire Bog. Let's see. The Crownless King is when you get a king. I think that's as close as you get in the bog, to be quite honest. So basically, this is going to be an encouragement for me to do a lot of exploration, especially in this endgame portion, where I am getting more and more stuff where I either have it on hand, I, like, have it in my upgrades, or, you know, things like that. So, I feel like this is a fair sort of element. Alright, I can just go ahead and use Basbata from the lock. Technically, there isn't anything in the king part of the Basbata encounter. Oh, this is interesting. Alright, so technically there are 2 Basbata encounters in the loch. One is when you draw an 8, where Basbata breaches the surface, you lose a foraging point because he's scaring things off. However, it says if you've cured the Shattertooth, Basbata instead gives you an animal reagent of value 8 or less. So there's that. That's the one that changes. The king, where it's like, you're getting the encounter and you notice the Shattertooth, is the triggering of basically that entire questline, but it doesn't have an alternative. So I'm going to leave the 8 as only an animal reagent. I'm going to say Basbata King draw on the loch is the one where I might get something for this. Let's see. But that is an interesting thing that I hadn't really noticed. Alright, Dreamwater Depths. The king is just the massive sunken ship that you find something in. You get a scroll in. So I don't think that's the case that I'd want to go for. Yeah, there's not really a powerful interaction element from the depths. So I'm gonna say the depths, you don't, might not be an option for this. It would basically keep me from exploring them as, drivenly, I guess. Unless there's something I need there. But I'm not really seeing anything that makes sense, you know? Okay, so Moonbreaker Mountain would be the being that gives you the piece of Moonstone, the dragon. Star Dragon of Moonbreaker Mountain, which is also a king element. The Cloud Isles is literally the god. So, I mean, that only makes sense. I'm just gonna put the Rainbow Walking God of the Cloud Isles. Let's see, Hero's Hollow is, of course, the Dark Ruler of the Underlands. Master of Shadows. You gotta put the whole title. Okay. Ooh, or... I'm gonna put 2 in the in here because it only makes a weird kind of sense, but the ancient demon would require release. Queen. You know, if you were crafting a much longer story, that would be an interesting one. And honestly, I almost feel like in exchange for basically narrowing that option down, because I feel like it's almost too easy if I get that first to look at this and go, yeah, but I got plenty of other chances. I'm bound to run into something else here. I'm going to actually remove the Crownless King. So I'll leave that be. The others are broadly fine. Can revisit at will to gain this. So basically I'm setting it up for myself so that if luck is so against me that I do not encounter any of these, I'm gonna say after crafting. After crafting the base wand requires, like, basically a blessing or a added element that can be put on. So basically, if I get to the end point where I'm like, I do not have any more game left to play, I need to get this done character-wise, I can just go back to the Ancient Demon without drawing the card, as long as I've encountered them once. Yeah. And there is one thing in the Strange that we have actually never encountered. And I'm going to say I'm not going to be able to get this benefit from them until and unless I've encountered them once to get the normal thing. The Great Demon of the Strange. Queen. Only on second encounter. Technically or later, but I want to get the first thing first. I just haven't been in the Strange very much. I feel like I should. Technically, I could have done perfect on the vampirism thing if I'd gone to the Strange for Weird Water. It's one of those things. Okay. Alrighty. Woof. I have made myself a puzzle. I have made myself a trial to get through. And that is basically going to be the thing that is going to, it's the final quest, as it were. More information will be great, but that is the final quest. To that end, I am going to basically treat all of these things as things that I have to forage fresh. And if I can, honestly, encountering these before I've made this will not help me. So. Let's see if we can get a magic or a curse 3. And honestly, I kind of want to see if there's anything I can do in the Strange. The Strange is difficult because it's, I can't technically get foraging points. I have to get lucky. So. Old Blood is only 2 points cursed. I set myself up needing 3. So that is not going to help me. I did not put time as an option. I went with Spirit and Senses. Good to know. Ghost Goo does Spirit and Curse. Technically. So technically that is very much an option. And it would do both of those. Okay. And then there's always Weird Water. Well, technically Ghost Goo is gonna be, really damn easy because it's -2 in winter and it's magic, so my wand makes that -2 again. So it goes from strange 6 to strange 2. So I'm very likely to find it really easily, to be honest. Let's go ahead and spend a little bit of time down in the strange. Only a little bit. I really would like to, trigger the Great Demon card. I really would like to draw a queen. So I might explore around the area just a little bit. Just in case. So, Ghost Goo, Spirit, and Curse technically will take care of 2 of those things. So let's go. Ah! Okay, I will take it. That is not a, that is not exactly an event, it's a discovery. So, what is a 6 on the finale? The 6 doesn't really make sense with what I've established. As far as, like, where she went and how and when. The 6 in the finale chart for knowledge is the witch's luggage returns through the mail. They were supposed to come back today. There is a return address. That is not what I have set up at all. It doesn't make sense for any luggage to come back. So, that can't be the case. Now, I can take the 6 and go down to one of the prior charts. I've already done it in The Plot Thickens. It's you discover the witch chose you as their successor for an important reason. How do you find out what was the reason? That's gone. About the witches, you find out about the witch's education. What were they like as a student, a prodigy, a problem? Were they self-taught? I feel like at this point I want to stick with the finale element. So I am going to just redraw. I was gonna say, I swear to God, if I got another 6. No. King is, unfortunately, the whole, if you feel like you have enough information and are prepared, you can mount a rescue, aid them on their mission, or settle their unfinished business. Which I am not doing right now. I'm working on it, but I'm not doing that right now. Do not give me a queen or jack, thank you. Fascinating. Alright. On a 10, at night you start to share dreams with the witch. If they're dead, maybe it's their last dream. What are the dreams and what do they tell you? Ooh, that's an interesting one. I'm gonna say that this is maybe the reason why Viola starts to look into crafting the wand, look into fixing this, and starts to get a feel of what sort of elements are needed. The dreams are perhaps very much at first, especially very strange dreams as they go. There would be a sense of containment, a sense of holding on to something very hard, because if you let go, something terrible will happen. There's a sense of, I think that's where Viola gets the idea that Agnes technically has laid a curse on the area with herself inside, and is tethering it, holding it in place. And that... Okay, hold on. Here's a different thought. I think I've been kind of assuming that the barrier was Agnes's doing, but we had to break it open to find out and to get her out. What if the barrier was a... The interest has been trying to get through it and failing, according to Agnes's familiar, when they came back. So it can't fully be their doing. However, if it's Agnes's, then presumably there's a reason why she's holding it. I think that she's holding something in stasis. I think that she's keeping something still. The senses would be the forgetfulness. The spirit is something about the way that it's tethered. I might add time to this. I'm gonna add time. At a tier 3. Time at a tier 3. Agnes is holding something in stasis. It is not a permanent solution, but because she's in the middle of it and because she's so occupied holding it, she can't actually solve the problem that she's containing. There needs to be one more witch. She and Margot aren't enough. 3 is a powerful number, magically speaking. Covens of witches are often come in 3s. If only their friend, the traveling witch, had been able to make it there in time. If only Piera was present, they maybe could have handled it. But right now, something went catastrophically wrong with what was happening down there, in a way that Agnes couldn't solve. It was going to overwhelm everything in the time that it took for Piera to show up, in the time that it took for Margot and Agnes alone to try to fix the problem. Agnes is holding it at bay. She stopped time, she's tethered spirits, she's dulled senses, she laid a curse. And it is powerful. And that's why Viola feels she needs to break through it and help fix it. I think the barrier is, in a way, a test and a riddle as much as a protection, perhaps. Okay. Noted that. Now, we are still technically searching for a little bit of that ghost goo. A 6 will be more than enough to get it. Ah, you wander into a bizarre bazaar. We've been here before a couple of times. A place that sells everything and anything. Wizards selling crystal balls, magic tomes, demons selling dreams and shadows, a strange little creature selling stolen socks. You may buy any magic reagent here for 3 times its 3 silver times its foraging value. Magic reagents are unfortunately very easy for us to get across the board, so I don't think we do. Do you buy anything else while you're here? Well, let's see. Yeah, I don't think we want necessarily to pick up anything. I think we're pretty good. Not that we're short on cash by any means. But I think we're pretty good. Let's see. Excuse me. I could always roll on some little charts just for the heck of it, just to see if there's any... I've got mundane treasure, peculiar, and magic items, so... I've done this before. Sometimes interesting things come up. 37 in mundane treasure is 1d4 bolts of white silk. Somebody is selling 3 bolts of white silk. Okay. Well, if we had any particular desire for white silk, it's there. Somebody else in peculiar knickknacks. A sewing needle that cannot pierce cloth, only living flesh. I mean, potentially useful if what you're doing is surgeon work, to be very fair. 22. A pair of black crow feather spolders that allow the wearer to jump 5 times higher than usual. You know, I think that we're doing I think we're doing okay. I think we're doing okay. Don't need any of that. We will go ahead and carry on from there. So, we've got ghost goo. That took one little bit of time. We have started having dreams. This was probably the night before we came down to the Strange for foraging. Got up early, started jotting everything down. So I can go ahead and see if there's anything else in the Strange that would help with these elements of things. I did go ahead and add time, so if there was a time thing in the Strange that I skipped over, it would be Basilisk's Gaze. That would be it. Strange 5 requires a wand. Do have that. It is magic, so that becomes Strange 3. But I can get a Basilisk's Gaze. Is there anything that seems interesting otherwise that would handle it? Weird water, technically, but that's... I don't want to do weird water, necessarily. I'd rather do, bespoke things. Let's call it that. So, Basilisk's Gaze 3. Let's spend a little more time in the Strange. Just because, again, I want to try, if I can, if I get lucky, I want to trigger that. At least once, before all of this. So, we need a 3. A 2 is not enough, and we can't get foraging points without a tourist's map. Funnily enough, you make your way up a spiraling tower made of bone, only to emerge at the bottom again. Decrease timer by 1, so that's 1, 1. A helpful demon with a voice like nails on a chalkboard gives you a tourist map, so it won't happen again. We now have a tourist map. We can get foraging points in the Strange. Oh, I've gotten this one before. Unfortunately, it's not what I'm after, but fortunately, I do get my Basilisk's Gaze, so... Okay, so basically I've got magic and senses left. I don't think that there's anything in the Strange that, covers those at the levels that I need, so I'm not going to benefit from wandering around the Strange for getting those ingredients. I will benefit from wandering around the Strange if I get lucky on the events that I pick up. So yeah. Anyway, the event that I just rolled, or pulled rather, you wander through some chain link curtains and find yourself in some sort of arena. The crowd goes wild and the gate slams shut behind you. Describe your opponent. What is the contest? An epic fight? A game of tail tag? Chess? Or something stranger? How does it go? I can't remember what it was last time, but I think it was something like we were playing cards. I think that it was like blackjack or something like that. Let's go ahead and say that it's something more active. You know, tail tag. Tail tag sounds interesting. So, Viola does not have a tail. The demon opponent does. She's given a long cloth tail that ties to the back of her belt, and at that point, it's just a case of running around in circles trying to keep anything else from grabbing her tail while grabbing theirs. So, to simulate this, usually we're drawing cards, and it's like whoever gets the highest one, or the highest combo, or something like that. Alright, let's do the good old Barons mechanics, because we will never see them again. So, it's less of a frustration. And it feels like it makes sense that the demon in this case would have an advantage, be able to draw 4 cards as opposed to 3, because its tail is fully under its control, whereas Viola's is just flapping behind her. So, we're gonna give them a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. That is a very good range of stuff. A king alone is 13, that's 23, 27. They got 32. I do not think I'm beating a 32. I'm not beating a 32! It's not possible. Yep, nope. I mean, I pulled the king at the very end there, I guess. It doesn't help me. So yeah, 14 and yeah, but like 22. But 22. Yeah, that 10 in the middle. Alright, so, Viola definitely loses the contest, but it's a great time all in all. It doesn't have any detriments for, like, being there. It's just a story element. So, it's fine. We can carry on. So I got my Basilisk's Gaze. At this point, it's basically a matter of, let's just explore. Let's just explore and see what happens, if anything. So. Yes! It was worth it! It was worth it! That's exactly the card I needed. It was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it. The great demon, leader of all those that live in the strange, summons you to their throne room. They saw the tail tag. They weren't impressed per se, but they were intrigued. They offer you a home here in the city for 1,000 silver. No catch. If you haven't bought the house, every time you enter the strange, you may undertake a task to reduce the cost by 50 silver. Then you decide what is the task, do you do it, and how does it go? Alright. It's not an upgrade. It's not a tool, technically. However, I'm going to place it in upgrades because that's where I put the purchasables. I am most likely not going to get this in this game. I'm gonna be real honest. This would be a longer form sort of thing. I have other things that I really want to buy with my copious influx of silver, to be honest. But technically, it's there. It doesn't benefit you in any way. There is no mechanical benefit to it. It's just a fun little thing. However, I did want to trigger it. Okay. With that, I think that we are going to head on home. Let's see what kind of book there is on the shelf of temporary tomes. On a 70. Oh, I've already gotten this one before, so it's not possible to get it again. I'm going to re-roll that. A 20. Something called Her Hexes by Olivia Grace. This once again sounds like it's in that camp of, like, novels sort of thing. Let's see how good it is. It's a 6. It's been banger after banger in the novels department. Apparently, we just keep getting really good lost literature. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see, let's see. I'm just making notes because I always do, because I will forget things so easily otherwise, even if it's unimportant like this. Okay. With that very eventful week, we are going back. Shuffle. Yeah, we're going back to the usual. We're in winter week 6. Time to see what is coming through the door. Have we had a 9 before? I feel like we might have had a 9 before. Where's my expert ailments? We just had a 9. It was vampirism. We literally just did this. Oh, I did forget to bump us up by 1 because technically we did take it. Guys, I think there's a vampire in the area, and I think it's being a little bit careless. A heart. That is a villager, a resident of High Rannoch. It is going to be not necessarily someone we have cured of anything before. Now, let's see. There is like an airship crash survivor that moved into the area that I don't think we've done much with. I know we've done cures for the others. It's basically a case of potentially making a new character, which I have been slightly avoiding. Or potentially having it infect somebody new. The only new one we have that's in place but hasn't been infected by anything before is probably Olga, the airship crash survivor, Skyfisher, whose skiff went down. Ah, that was another... So we have rescued like 5 people so far. I forgot about the Skyfisher, who moved in. Oh, God. Alright. Who's got vampirism? Who has got vampirism? We could just make a new person. It's been a little bit. Alright. New villager. Let's see. I think I can just go ahead and, where's my list of potential, like, jobs, workers, things like that. It's not necessarily the best list, but it is a list. We do not have a blacksmith established, so you know what? That seems fair enough. I've used that name for someone before, so we'll re-roll that as well. We've used that one. Unfortunately, these are getting a little bit thin on the ground and repetitive. Huh. Xena the blacksmith? Alright. Xena is the blacksmith. It's either that or Xavier. Alright. Definitely there's a vampire in the area. Okay. So, vampirism. We can make this pretty dang easy. Was it one in Heroes Hollow that's, like, handling two of the things? I think it might have been. Because I decided to go with the, Burn was the Glimmerwood Grove, the Surgeon's Hat. But we can go for Weird Water, because why not? Okay, Vampire Venom was tempting because of Curse, but I think I went with something else ultimately. What was it? What was it? Where did I go? I gotta scroll up a little. Moon Moss. It was Moon Moss. Alright. So we're gonna make a moon water potion with moon moss and weird water. Because I do want to go in the strange again, to be honest. Get that timer up. Strange 10, but it becomes 8. Because it's magic. Moon Moose! Moon Moose again. Aisles 6, as usual. Okay. Now I just need to remind myself of one thing. What are our linked location? I've got Cloud Isles linked to... No, it's the Strange, not Heroes Hollow. Ah. Alright, so no matter what, it is going to take a little jot of time to go between locations. That's okay. Also, I am feeling like I flipped a coin basically between Glacier Moss and Moon Moss being on my little, terrarium mountain of sorts. I am beginning to regret. Moon Moss, it turns out, has been very, necessary. You can't win them all, I guess. Let's do this thing. Let's go up to the aisles first. We might be able to get through it quickly. We will see. We will be able to get through it quickly. So that is definitely a moon moss on the very first Cloud Isles card pull. Oh, I think I might have had this once, and it's been a bit. You run into a pair of old harpies having a day out. They call you over to say hello and to chat. They ask about you and tell you about themselves. So, they tell some stories, they talk about the... I think that we're talking about, Piera, actually, in the Flying Cottage. That's something we both would have encountered at various times, especially in the Cloud Isles and on the Wing. So the old harpies are talking about, yes, we knew Piera even back in our youth when she first got that thing up and running and flying, and, you know, she crashed so many times, she had to, so it makes so many emergency landings to work on it. It's doing much better now. During the conversation, they also say they think they know where to find the reagent you're looking for, so we've definitely picked up Moon Moss for one thing. Gain 4 foraging points. I'm gonna be honest, that one mechanically does not make much sense unless you are putting those foraging points into something else that you need, or you're looking for something that requires a 13 on the foraging. Because the Queen alone is a 12. You automatically find whatever you're looking for on that card. Like, you don't... I don't know if there was an earlier iteration of this game where you needed to build up the foraging points no matter what, and so you were guaranteed to be pulling multiple cards. But at this point, it's like, the game is, you pull the card, if it's the value or higher, you find the thing, as well as do the event. And if you don't find the thing right away on that card pull, you get the foraging points and you continue pulling cards. Yeah, that one unfortunately falls a little flat. I'd almost prefer if that one was something like one of those, oh, you, instead of gain foraging points, you just get bonus material of some kind. Or you get a second helping of what you are searching for if you found it, or something like that. I don't know. Like, a doubling would almost be better of what you get. Anyhow, that is unimportant. It's an interesting little element, but it is purely narrative and doesn't really have much mechanical bearing, unfortunately. Alright, so that was that jot of time. We're going to go down one more as we head down into the strange. So weird water might be a little bit trickier to find. We're looking for an 8 or better. And who knows what weird little things we might come across. The strange on a 5. Alright, I've come across this just once before. Out past the wall of the town, you come across a colorful camp of mechanical people with strange glass boxes for heads. They cannot speak, instead they show you a video. What do they show you, and what do you think they mean? Every time you get this result, write about the strange conversations you have with them. Last time we talked about their tendency to wander, the locations, the vistas that they've seen. I think each one might have their own particular interest as well. So, what do we see as far as a TV head, mechanical TV head person's, like, special interest? If we call it that. Not quite sure how to determine that. Just rolled on some mundane scavenging items in case it was inspiring in any way. I got tea lights as a thing. Maybe there's one that tries to communicate largely in images of candles, candle light, candle flames. I think that this is a thing where the expectations of language are not matching up. Like, it is not a full conversation that can happen. But it is pretty. Alright, so technically we have the tourist map, so technically we are gaining foraging points for now. I believe that was that. Yep, 1, 2 for moving. That was the event. Alright, draw another card. I'm just going to move this event card up. Don't tell me that's the arena again. Oh no, not another arena. Alright, well, we definitely got the weird water, if nothing else. This event is bobbing for apples in weird water. The apples are all sour crab apples. And very unpleasant. But we get some weird water to take home, so there's that at least. How well does it go? One card for the opponent, one card for me, highest wins. Opponent wins again. It's a demon that unfortunately can, like, unhinge the lower jaw and get a much bigger, like, mouth area to scoop the apples up in. So, handily wins that one. All in good fun, though. So we've got our weird water, we've got our moon moss, and we've got some time. We've got a little bit of time. So, senses and magic. There was nothing in the strange that did for any of those. However, there's a chance we could just hop to the dungeon and maybe see if there's something there. I'm pretty sure Magic 3 exists here somewhere as a ingredient. Because I swear that I have grabbed things for it before. Could be wrong. Oh, it was glitter snow, but it's not good to find there. And especially, like... yeah, it's not high level enough. Well, that's okay. That is a-okay. Is there somewhere else I should go for things? Technically, this is good enough for senses, the driftwood memories. It's magic lock. I mean, I just scoop it up. I just scoop it up. It's all over the place there, apparently. It's just a question of what do I encounter. Okay. Senses and magic. Oh, if I'd gone for fossil fish, I could have done time and magic both, but I've already grabbed Basilisk's Gaze for it. Honestly, I can just put the Basilisk's Gaze into my, the other thing, my reagents on hand list, and go for fossil fish in, like, the depths. And technically that would be fine. Ha. Alright. I don't mind the idea of it. Okay. I think let's go ahead and head over to the depths. We'll leave the strange. Take a jot of time. And get into the Dreamwater depths. So, while we're there, we'll do a search for fossil fish. That is going to be searching for a 7 instead of a 9 because it is a magic reagent. Let's go. A joker means that we do not necessarily find the reagent right away. Instead, we are picking up something else from our search for knowledge. 7. Ah! One of your contacts has known what happened to the old witch all along. Who is it? How do they know? And why did they keep it secret? Ooh, that's a good question. That is a very good question. So, this doesn't need to be while we're in the depths. It can be something else somewhere else along the way. You know what? I'm going to circle back on that one. Because I kind of want it to be assigned to one of these special things. So I'm gonna put a pin in that, and I'll come back to it later. Okay. So I'm just holding on to that. In the meantime, actual draw for the depths exploration. That is definitely not getting us a fossil fish. 2. It's the ancient ghost. Passes straight through you. For a moment you get a vision of the city before it ended up in its current state. What do you see? We've seen it in its prime. We've seen it in its moment of destruction. I mean, what is there left? Unless we see it at its birth. We see the very first small collection of huts erected by a little community of people who wanted to farm in the area. Just a humble beginning. Long before it became a city. We're not doing that again. Second ghost. What the hell was my luck? A second ghost passes through immediately after we recover from the first and bowls us over. I think then we see... Oh, what else about the city? We see its beginning, we see... Maybe there was a point in its history when it was like at that midpoint before its prime, but after its founding, when it might have fallen. It might have been almost completely razed by some incident, some attack, maybe a dragon, maybe an enemy army. It was rebuilt after that. Another one. Okay. That will be enough, I believe, to get the fossil fish. The ruins are home to many ghosts, and while they're usually silent, today you hear a snippet of something. Music, speech, or something else. What did you hear? Let's say we hear song. Last time we heard violin music. We've had the violin since then. I think we hear singing. Very distant, very indistinct, and very brief. Time and magic is now covered for our collected ingredients for the wand. And I do need to put Basilisk's Gaze into reagents on hand. If I already have one, then I can just bump up the number. If not, then I have to find it and copy it in. I do have one. 2. There we go. Alright, all we need now is senses. However, I think at this point, we've done enough. We can just head back home. We will get the blacksmith. We will get the blacksmith the potion that she needs. So, crushed moon moss and weird water that can do anything. I'm gonna say that it can taste like anything too, so basically we have created moon water potion. There we go. We get Xena cured, we add our usual gamut of very sweet things. So 4 points, 1 point there. Screw it, let's go ahead and add some sun sugar. I mean, why not at this point? So 4 and 4 is 8. 8 times 4 is ridiculous. It's what, 32? Yeah, it's 32. Alright. And that's plus the 50 base plus 10 for the treatment room, times Elgiva being a shrewd little business witch. That's 138 on the potion. God, this shouldn't be allowed. We are at 493. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. This is a perfect potion, so we're up 2 points on reputation. Oh god, guys. I just want all the upgrades, really. I really just want all the upgrades. We are so dang close to getting yet another of the special big locale upgrade things, that quite frankly, I kind of want to do that. And so I am just gonna go ahead and, with the first bit of downtime, I'm just gonna craft a wand. I'm just gonna craft a wand. Let's go into our reagents on hand and maybe just kind of, narrow one down just a little bit. We've got moon moss in hand. I didn't have to go looking for moon moss at any given point, to be quite honest with you. And yet I did. You know what? Screw it. I'm bringing the basilisk's gaze back down. Basilisk's gaze. There we go. Alright, made a wand with Basilisk's Gaze as the core. Let's see real quick. What is... There we go. What makes sense? Hero's Hollow, the Strange for the wood. Let's do the Strange for the wood. Living wood that reacts to your touch. That seems creepy enough. Okay. So we can sell it for 50 silver, which becomes 75 automatically because Elgiva is in charge of selling things anymore. So we now have a 483 plus a 75 equals 568, but we're using 500 of that immediately, so we have 68 silver, which is the lowest our accounts have been for a while. That'll be fine. Okay, what ridiculous upgrades? Which one shall we get? We've got the mini mountain. We've got the Glimmerwood greenhouse. So basically it's the basement hollow or the meltwater pond, which is either the lock or the dungeon reagents. 5 reagents in either of those, you get free access to them. Like, goddamn. Okay. We can just pick one at random. I'm gonna go for... I think I'm gonna just go for the meltwater pond. Okay, formatting, ready. So now we just have to pick 5 reagents with something with the lock as a location. It cannot be something that is depths and depths alone. It has to be stuff that's hopefully pretty useful. The other thing is that I do have the fish tanks. So I don't necessarily want any of these. Which is going to be maybe making the whole this a little bit less valuable. But we'll see. So, God. Like, how many things are even worth it? Frankly, you want to look at 2 stars or better. Fossil fish. Not that I need them that bad, but fossil fish. I've got like 2 on hand. This is getting silly. I could just pick up the siren song. Ooh, sea beast saliva. You know what? That's a pretty powerful one. Like, even if it's easier to get in the depths, it's at least strong. Copy paste. Alright, let's see what's next. Yeah, not a whole lot more. I can technically get ambergris. Hold on. Yeah, ambergris is like Isles in Loch, so I wasn't able to get it in the mountain. But I can get it for the Loch. I now automatically have access to that. Yay! Alright, 2 more. 2 more. What makes sense? Honestly, Siren Song isn't necessarily bad. Like, it's magic. I usually have a very good chance of getting it, but I can just grab it. It's at least 2 stars, so it's something. And also I like the idea that this pond is out there and just kind of magically has a little bit of Siren Song floating over it at any given time, kind of phasing in and out. Not necessarily that I'm keeping a siren there. It's just the song keeps kind of circulating and is accessible. What's the one last thing I want to put in here? One last thing. Yeah, there's not really anything I really particularly need. Most cases. I'll slap a flood bulb down. Just because it's not available in a lot of other places. Technically the dungeon, yeah, but eh. So I will do that. I will do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are good. Save changes. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, so the usual, Eldriva gets to go hunting for something to go to the Museum of Magic. Let's see. Honestly, we could just pick something and have them go. Have her go for it. It is beginning to get to a point where it kind of hardly matters, in a weird way. Because while we could do hunting, yeah. Could also just make this really easy. Alright, let's just start at the top and go down. Eldriva is gonna go and collect some Scramble Bramble. It's a lot more scarce in the winter, so it's probably gonna take her the entire downtime. But she will manage it eventually. It's good for her to learn a few things about how to deal with the scarcity of certain ingredients in certain seasons. So that's going to be her busy for a bit. So after we have done a wand and done a little upgrade, I think that we should go ahead and try to get something that covers the senses too. Now, in theory, that shouldn't be too difficult. In practice, I don't remember what has 2 stars and senses. To be fair, there's a lot to remember here. So you can't possibly have it all. Let's see. The forest probably wasn't the best place to start in some ways. I don't really want to go for Cynic Ivy. Just because typically the forest has more low-level stuff. Alright, maybe not. Which in a way, a little bit of a shame, because you just end up spending a lot less time in the Glimmerwood Grove as you level things up and advance things. You know, honestly, Driftwood Memories. Driftwood Memories sounds good, because I am dealing with forgetfulness, actually, so I think I'm gonna go for it. That is gonna be an automatic gimme. I am flat out just gonna get it. It's just a question of what happens as I am doing so. So, get up to the loch. Get that going. Let's see what happens. Oh, I did draw. It just fell because my mouse is weird. My mouse acts up. On a 4. Oh, walking along one of the beaches, you trip over some worthless junk half buried in the sand. What is it? What do you do with it? You can do so many creative things with this, to be honest. I think she finds, let's say, something abandoned, something broken, and probably a little bit thrown away. Maybe it drifted here, if it was made of wood. Maybe it fell off of something or was washed away in a flood and ended up here. A warped and waterlogged rocking chair. Maybe if we get Agnes back, she'll like it. But it's gonna take some work to fix. Honestly, this kind of works. We're looking for driftwood memories. This isn't pure driftwood, but it's been drifting and it is made of wood. I think that we harvest the driftwood memories off of this. Okay. So that's the bit of time to find it, to collect the driftwood memories and whatnot. Okay. So. I think we drag that back home. Okay. I'm having thoughts here. What wood works for making this wand, or honestly, at this point, maybe even a staff, given we've got a few different elements going into it. The options of wood, as described in the Wandcraft PDF, are from the Glimmerwood Grove, glittering oak imbued with fairy magic. That is what Viola's current wand is made of. From the Blastfire Bog, there's fireproof willow wood blackened by the bog. I think that was the wood that an old wand of Agnes's was made of. One that she discarded because she no longer needed. She has a new one now. The Meltwater Loch gives ancient driftwood imbued with memories, which, you know, we do have that ingredient in there. So it's not unfitting. Dreamwater Depths is salvage from a ship wrecked long ago. Moonbreaker Mountain is tough and flexible pine that smells of snow. The Cloud Isles, sun-bleached spruce that floats slightly. Hero's Hollow, mahogany from a device left to rot. The Strange, living wood that reacts to your touch. I feel like there's a sense of narrative fitness with the ancient driftwood from the loch. The strange living wood is just bizarre enough for me to go, oh yeah, that's magic. That's weird magic. We're doing weird stuff with that. I'm not sure the others are quite as strong, but they also aren't bad per se. You know what? Let's go with the Meltwater Loch. Let's say we're also, in addition to the rocking chair we find a much older piece of driftwood. We have a separate bit of the ingredient that we salvaged. We're also grabbing the wood from it. Also, we're crossing the loch to deal with this, so you know what? That's another point of some kind of commonality. So at this point, we need a blessing, a contribution from something. So we're basically waiting on that. Once we have that, we should be ready. Alright. I think that we'll spend one bit of time... Let's spend 2 bits fixing up the rocking chair. I don't have a formal number in mind. I'm not making a entire separate sheet. I'll say 2 out of 5. Done. Okay. Winter, week 7. Recall, shuffle. Let's do this thing. What is a 6 on here? And I swear, please don't let it be another thing that I've done so many times. Oh, a 6 is new! A 6 is new! A 6 is new! A 6 is bad! A 6 is bad! A 6 is bad! Banshee's Blessing. We've got Ear 2, Blood 3, Mood 3, Magic 2, Timer 6. A wrong number situation. The afflicted has heard a banshee's wail. Their blood is running cold and they are sick with fright. They also may have a bit of hearing loss. Consequences, the link wasn't severed in time and they shared the fate of the banshee's target. You lose 8 reputation if you fail that one. We're bumping that one all the way up there because Timer 6 gets ridiculous because I have so many bonuses. Let's do this thing. I don't think I've ever done anything that requires ear. Ear 2. Blood 3. Mood 3. Magic 2. Okay. So the fun thing is I have so many locale upgrades. I also have a lot of reagents on hand. I could probably technically just do this without going anywhere, to be really honest. And I do kind of want to weed things out a little bit. Just a bit. I don't know. Cause like, come on. I can also just go to the, with the Mayathame to the circle. Yeah. Ear, blood, mood, magic. Ear, blood, mood, magic. Let's go. Mood, but not powerful enough. curse, and magic. Technically, can I do it perfectly? Blood and curse with moon. No, it's not curse. It's blood and magic. Not powerful enough. The guppy is not strong. The guppy is too weak. Let's see, let's see. Magic curse and mood. Technically the antlers would work, but it wouldn't be perfect, but maybe it's not perfect. Maybe it's just not going to be. Ear, blood, and stomach, but it's only 1 star. Bagger. Alright. Curse and ear. It's curse. I don't need curse. I mean, Siren Song does cover ear at the very least. Yeah, I don't have, like, the best combo of things here. It's fine. It is fine. But I just don't. So let's tour a little bit real quick. Special locale. Technically, senses and magic. Magic would be covered. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting perfection here. Not even gonna try. Amethyst Antlers would probably be the best move for covering magic and mood. So. Have. Ear and blood. Blood is 3, ear is 2. Genuinely don't think I have anything for ear in here. Unless it's Siren Song. Yeah, that's probably it. Siren Song! Siren Song, have. So, blood 3. Do I have anything for blood 3? Sea Beast Saliva. I mean, I just have everything on hand. I don't even have to go anywhere. Like, if I just want to go fast, I can just do that. I mean, I kind of want to just go fast at this point. These usually take so long. I'm just gonna go fast. I'm just gonna go fast. Oh, I forgot completely to determine who has shown up with this issue. Who has heard the Banshee's wail? It is a traveler, a infrequent visitor to Hyranok. So, who's come through town with an issue? Honestly, Erwin the Doomsayer would have been great for this, but I grabbed her for vampirism, so she's done. For now, at least. Fabian. Fabian the Thrill Seeker has gotten a thrill that he did not seek and would like to be rid of. Please and thank you. Alright. Just go ahead and note everything here. We are doing Amethyst Antlers, crushed, of course, because what else do you do with those? So it's gonna be sparkly purple. Sea Beast Saliva, I cannot imagine being anything other than, like, clear. Let's see, what was it? Blood and senses, I think it was. So we're distilling. And the siren song, which is ephemeral. Who even knows? Distilled. Oh gosh. So if the Banshee's wail is a song of death, then I think we've just made a song of life potion. Okay. Yeah. Honestly, we can just spend some of this time, tinkering around the place a little bit. Go out a little bit, Yeah. Yeah. It's just not... There's just not much. I'm just gonna spend 3 jots of time, like, fixing that rocking chair as Fabian stews in the treatment room. Then I'm gonna take him outside, sit him down on the chair on the porch, and let him just look out over the mini mountain and the greenhouse and the pond, the gardens, the beehives, and just go, sit here, soak it in, I'll be right back. Distill what we need to, crush what we need to, mix it all together into a warming potion that gets given to him in a mug. And just by the time he's done with the treatment, of course, sweetened to within an inch of anybody's taste buds. I'll only use honey in this one, it's fine. By the time he's kind of settled, he's feeling so much better. So it's definitely not a perfect potion, but that's okay. It was a very quickly made one. So, I need my calculator once again. 50, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 24. Times a little businesswoman's bonus is a 126 for the potion. So we're at 194 now. Okay. Okay then. I'll say with that, we have satisfied the needs of the potion that needed to be made. Honestly, at this point, getting that one upgrade that is the Raven, where you do 2 ailments at once, does seem a lot more feasible. Because, quite frankly, I have so much on hand that I can just do that. Genuinely, I can just do that. I would want a second little, like, Raven Feather token, because sometimes their timers are, like, off, but... You know what? Let's get the Ravenloft. Let's get the Ravenloft. It is noted, and it is in place. Oh, guys. Oh, guys. Heck it. We're double potioning. We're double ailmenting at this point. This is become fairly feasible. In the meantime, there is downtime stuff real quick. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to go from reagents on hand, and I'm just going to see what is needed here, to be quite honest. It's a mess, but I just don't. I'll figure it out. So, first of all, I am just going to get the shield cap out of here. I hardly ever need 1 stars anymore, so it's fine. Shield cap can be sent. Whoops. I need to scroll down a little. Okay. I don't know if I need fairy dust. I don't know if I have fairy dust. Songberries I have on hand. It's fine. I can just send those in. Just transparent so I can click the one thing. Okay, songberries sent. Coffee cap I have. I will send. You know, it's fine. It's just fine. I might keep the Snake's Promise on hand because it is a 3-star, and I do not have that, I think, as a grabbable. Not that it's difficult, but still. Hair of Boar. I don't know if I have Hair of Boar. Just do a little... Ooh, pixie fur? No, it's fairy dust that I haven't sent in yet. I really need this to be bigger, to be quite honest, because my scroll wheel is acting up. Right. Okay. Fairy dust I don't think I necessarily have at this point. I've got more Snake's Promise in there. See, this has gotten to be such a mess. Such a damned mess. It's so badly organized at this point. Oh no. Rat Spit, Golden Scale Guppy, Driftwood Memories. Do I have any of these things? I doubt it. Golden Scale Guppy I do, and I do not care enough to keep it, so I will happily send that along. Boop. Alright, I don't think I have Driftwood Memories on hand. That's fine. Rat Spit, I do not think I have on hand. That's fine. Okay, okay. Gasweed, I actually do have on hand and I've just never used, so, you know, they can have it. A slime shell, I don't think I do, so we'll skip that for now. Smooth croak, I don't think I do, we'll skip that for now. Mermaid's gift, I have, and I do not care, so there we go. Alright, okay. Pixie fur, I've got. It only cures rash. It's fine. A goat's echo, I do not think I have. Nest scraps and crow coal. I don't know. I've got doubts. I don't think I have. Flood bulb, I do have it on the mountain thing. On my pond thing, so I'm just gonna say that I pull from there. If I have it, you know? Giant spider venom, weird water, pretty powerful stuff to be very fair, so I'm not necessarily going to want to send those along. Yeah, I think at this point it's just, I just need to use things up. I just need to use things up. Okay, what do I need? Weird water, giant spider venom, crow coal and nest scraps, a goat's echo, and smooth croak, slime shell, driftwood memories, rat spit, snake's promise. Are my eyes playing tricks on me? Do I have multiple snake's promises? Because I've got no organization in this, so I could. I might only have one. Got one there. It's okay. Hair of boar. Ah! Fairy dust. Okay. Yeah, stuff that I don't currently have on hand, but that's fine. So, downtime. Eljiva gets to go out and collect something. She gets to go collect some fairy dust. Because it's first in line. After that, honestly, wandering around the various areas, just to gather things and get in the middle of things and maybe encounter things is going to be beneficial to us at this point. So. So we're hunting reagents for the Museum of Magic. I mean, the forest isn't a bad place to search, all things considered. Let's go. So, keeping in mind, we've got in the forest a animal forage -3. Means that, Hair of Boar is going to be pretty easy to find. I only need a 2 or better. Let's get into Glimmerwood Grove. It's been a bit. So a 2 or better for Hair of Boar. 2 is just enough. A group of thieving fairies grab your forage basket and take off into the woods faster than you can run. Luckily, they drop one of the ingredients you've collected from this trip, which would just be the Hair of Boar. I haven't found anything. This is the Hair of Boar. Choose one to keep, discard the rest. Okay. So, it might be important in this case to just note things here as what I've gotten. Just in case that happens again and I have to choose. So, little buggers got my Hair of Boar. That is fine. Well, they didn't get it. They dropped it. But they got my basket. Which means we're just kind of stuffing things in pockets at this point, which makes the rat spit a little bit unappealing, except, no, I've got vials. I've got vials. Alright, animal, forest. A -3 puts us at a 1. We're automatically getting this one, no matter what we pull. We lose something. Either the rat spit or the Hair of Boar. Let's say we lose the rat spit. Goddamn fairies have come back and decided they didn't get anything, so they need to get something again, and this time they snatch the rat spit vial out of my hands. We carry on. We get the rat spit again. We find more. Oh, you little... Hey, you remember the jealous truffle hunter? You remember the jealous truffle hunter? There's another one. Or it's the same. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's got a pig snout now. So, he mistakes you for a competitor and takes a pot shot at you. Unfortunately, it hits. You have to take some time to heal the wound. Which takes one. Do you curse them? If so, what does the curse do? So, pig snout, truffle snuffle, has got us again. Where's my chart of curses? I'm pretty sure we can get a fun idea from that. I'm pretty sure we can get something mean. That's potion effects. That's books. Where's my curses? Quests, settings, encounters and events, festivals, magic rituals, magical effects, curses. D100. Alright, he's gonna be like this. Then, he did not learn his lesson. The lesson needs to... Disgusting. I shall not. Well, that's dark. By the way, it's like blood weeps from the target's eyes whenever they look upon death. Like, he shot me. Deserves something. Okay, okay. I could give him paranoia and anxiety. Or I can go up one. Which is the target's skin breaks out in a sore rash when touched by another living creature. That's rough. Honestly, if anybody is patting Pig Snout on the head, then their scalp can burn. Their scalp can burn. Okay. Oh, we got a rat spit. We also got trouble. What else is in the forest that I could potentially get? Honestly, probably not a lot. I think everything else is... Oh, I can go for nest scraps. Those are in the forest. It's +2 in the winter, but it is animal, so I've got a -3, so it actually becomes a 3 to grab hold of. I've got a good chance. Ooh boy. Okay. Slight diversion. Let's go ahead and see what we get for that. On a 4. You receive a message directly from the witch. Is it a full message, just a few words, or something else? I think this will be after we finish our foraging and go to bed at night. So, we'll hold that thought. A jack. Well, that's definitely enough to get us our nest scraps. But what else happens? Ah! You find yourself in a beautiful courtyard of azure bricks, hanging moss and a golden throne upon which sits an amused-looking elf. They ask for a gift in exchange for a story. Do you give them a gift? What do you give? And what do they tell you? We have encountered this individual once before. It was when I thought that I was telling the story, but I guess I sort of was. So, I don't think they really want hair of boar, rat spit, or nest scraps. Those are not useful things. And in a way, I'm not sure we have anything worthy of giving as a gift. I'm gonna say that this time, maybe not. We're looking at our ingredients, our reagents, looking at this elf, and kind of going, not today, not this time. Maybe we'll be back. And I think that with that, we're just gonna head on home. Get these things sent out. See if I can get... Hip, 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 hip. Up, up, up. Rat spit. There we go. And... hair of boar. Okay. Save those changes. Okay. Alright. So that night, while sleeping, we're sharing dreams already. I think this time Agnes is aware of it. Time might not be passing for her, but she still dreams. She's still caught in one. And she knows now that, for sure, that we are occasionally linking up. So, think this is a chance for Agnes to tell us kind of directly what the major problem is that she was trying to stop. That she was holding in place, that she couldn't do alone, or even with only one other witch of any significant power. She needs more. Let's see. Agnes specializes in crafting magical things, which means she probably also specializes in breaking them, which is how she managed to sabotage things in the mountains before. Margot's specialty is weather, both understanding and manipulation. What did they need? What did they need and what did they run up against? Piera is also a crafter, a traveler, a probably just general knowledge or something like that. I'm not sure Viola can provide that. Though maybe more crafting would be helpful. Agnes needs a potion made. The barrier wand will take care of the barrier, but there's a problem within that needs to be handled as well. Agnes needs one potion made. Problem-fixing potion. Agnes is currently holding in place. I think that the mages of the city were trying to harvest too much. And I think that it was causing the start of a cascade. That they were pulling without end magic, reagents, power from that land. And so it's beginning to... the magic is beginning to bleed out. The magic is going away. It's dying. It's like they are sucking up all of the water from a waterway, and at some point it's going to... something is going to give. Agnes can root them, that magic out, but only if the magic of the land remains strong enough for her to do so. We need to restore it. So... there is unfortunately not really a growth tag or anything like that. There is definitely magic. 3. What else? Mood, senses, curse. Teeth and bones doesn't really work. Coffin, lungs, spirit, ghoul, parasite. Honestly, parasite kind of works. I will put 3. If there are no parasite 3s in this game, I will bring it down to 2 because I do not know for sure. I am going to go for wound. I think that in a weird way makes sense. Wart, rash, mood, burn. I know there's hot and cold, but I don't think any of those work. Boils. Sleep. No. I don't think any of those necessarily. Senses, blood, skin, nerves, time, pain, infection, ear and stomach and hair. I think magic, parasite, and wound are the closest we're getting. Like they set these, They bred these weird little worm things. It's like slugs in the garden, just eating everything up. and then they're harvesting them. Okay. Okay. Dehydration, poison. Poison, maybe. Let's do poison. Okay. I think that's a good spread. I'm doing most powerful on all of these, but again, if there's something that that does not make sense that I cannot get hold of, then I will bump one down one. Okay. Okay. Agnes communicates what is needed. Not the specific ingredients, but what needs to be fixed. Okay. So, what works for all this? If anything. Alright. That's parasites and infection, but it's only 2. I need to look at just 3s, basically. Word spoils time. Skip everything unless it's a 3. Giant spider venom is time, pain, and nerves. Ghost goo is spirit and curse. Vampire venom, curse, pain, and mood. If I'm not able to get anything, then it's just gonna be tons of weird water. Honestly, just a potion of nothing but weird water would probably cover it, but I want to see if I can do better. Teeth. No, I need 3s. Okay, so far, weird water and weird water alone seems like it's gonna cover stuff. That is unfortunate so far. Okay, I've only looked at one, though. I've only looked at one. Cynic Ivy. Senses magic. Okay. So that could do that. Let's see. Nimbus fish is mouth, feet, and infection. Ambergris is senses cold and pain. Glacier moss is dehydration and lungs. Moon moss is blood and curse. Yeah, it's entirely possible that some of these just do not have that kind of power behind them. In which case, I will have to reassess. And go for the highest possible thing. Probably 2s. 1s, 2s, 3s. Mood, sleep, and hair, no. 3s, time and magic. Yeah, unfortunately. That doesn't do me. Wound? Okay. So, is poison and parasite something that caps out at 2? For any given, ingredient? Poison, nope, it's 2. Okay. I've got one more spot I can check, but I've got doubts, because I don't know that there's a lot of 3 stars in here aside from the antlers. Then I think those are magic and curse again. Spirit and ghoul, magic, curse, and mood. Yep. Yep. Okay. There just might not be parasite and poison that's that strong. The cures aren't just aren't that strong for it. Okay. Well, that answers that. Let's go ahead and bump Parasite to 2 and Poison to 2. Because, quite frankly, if it's not possible, then we need to... we're designing our own game element here, to be honest. And so everything has to be feasible. So, Parasite to Poison 2. Crowcole can be Poison 2. See if there's anything else Parasite and poison. Parasite and poison. Parasite is Whisper of a Cat. Let's see if there's any other options. I just want to list out anything that can work. Just while I'm here and doing this. So, Parasite, Slime Shell. Parasite and poison, parasite and poison. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Flood Bulb can do poison. Moonbreaker Mountain. Ow. I sat weird on my foot there. Let's see. Yeah, Flood Bulb I've already gotten. Alright, that could largely be it. We've got Crow Coal listed. Liquid Fire can do Parasite. Parasite and Poison. Skullcap is only 1 star. Let's see, let's see. Flood Bulb I've listed. Okay. So I have listed everything that's possible. CBS Saliva is like the only option for wound, so we'll definitely be getting that. As for other things, I'm just going to see what I come across. Save changes? Okay. Where the hell was I? That was downtime. That was all the downtime. Okay. Winter week 8. We are just gonna move right along. Recall. Shuffle. Recall. Okay. We now have a Ravenloft. Ravenloft means that we draw twice. When determining an ailment, have the second card be for a patient in another village. If you can make potions for both ailments within their timers, if applicable, gain double silver for the second potion. Alright, things just got complicated. Let's go! So, main individual is going to be an 8. What is an 8 on my ailments chart? Saturday Night Fever. We have done this before. Our second individual. Uh-oh. That's double trouble on expert ailments. Now, I can technically take a lower one. There's Grumbly Tums, which we've done. Bard Boils we've done. Pollen Pox we've done so many times. You know, I think that I'm feeling a little on the confident side. Let's double trouble. What's a 2 and a 7? A 2 is botched resurrection. A 7 is temporal hiccups. It sounds like somebody has had an extremely bad time. Oh god, how am I going to keep track of which potion is which? Maybe I'll put it in the bonus line for the second potion. Oh my goodness. Okay. 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 Right. So, Saturday Night Fever. Who is currently suffering Saturday Night Fever? That is a villager. It is a villager we haven't necessarily had before. So, let's go ahead and do a little bit of, randomizing. Let's see. What kind of individual? A scribe. Perhaps our Reeve has a secretary. Let's see. They shall be they shall be. Peter. Peter the scribe. Saturday Night Fever. Keeps trying to dance the nights away. Basically, a full-body nerve dysfunction makes it look like the afflicted is dancing, albeit terribly. Exhaustion, embarrassment, and aching feet are common. We need for that... feet, 3. Pain, 3. Nerves, 2. Hot, 1. Timer is 6, which puts it at 11. Our bonus person has a lot going on, to be honest. Has so much going on. Botched Resurrection is Ghoul, 3. Curse, 3. Wound, 3. Cold, 2. Just gonna kind of put that there. On top of Temporal Hiccups, Magic, 3. Pain, 2. Time, 3. Stomach, 2. What have I done to myself? What has been done to this person? Okay, so this is a person in another village entirely, so I'm not even going to draw for it or anything like that. I'm just gonna do a couple of rolls to establish a quick little person. At the same time, our Ravenloft brings a nasty case in. I'm just gonna read off. Botched Resurrection. The afflicted recently passed on, only to have their soul brought back from the great beyond. However, as is usually the case, they're more of an animated corpse than them. Temporal Hiccups, a frustrating ailment that causes the afflicted to randomly jump backwards or forwards in time, leading to a collection of bruises. We have a time-hopping zombie in our hands. Oh, God. Okay. Guys, I rolled NPC class before thinking, what if they're an adventurer? The NPC class I rolled was a carpenter. We got fantasy zombie Jesus here. Time hopping zombie Jesus. What's a 68 for a name? Too late for the J's, I'll say that much. I think we've had a Paramon before, but I can't remember. So, if they were to be an adventurer, let's just devil's advocate that a little bit. They would be a cleric. No, this is the funniest possible combination of answers. Paramon. Once a carpenter turned cleric adventurer. Died on adventure. And got, badly resurrected by another party member. Less specialized in the art. In addition, they died while under a temporal hiccup effect, and so that has persisted. There's a time-jumping zombie cleric in holding at the moment, and they need this done. Okay, what are the timers on those two ailments? Temporal Hiccups is 6, Botched Resurrection is 6, so basically I have the same timer for... I wanted to say all three. They are all three. I have the same timer for both individuals. What the hell am I doing? Oh, no! Oh, heckin' no! I need so many ingredients. Okay, so first of all, I am looking through everything that I have on hand. Because the more that I can just use here, the better. I can do hot, I can do cold with the salamander urine. Either one works. So, frankly, I've got hot 1, cold, like, 2 here. I might go for the cold because I've got the feeling that hot 1, it might be easier to find, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I think that's, like, nest scraps usually does that. Let me just see real quick. Nest scraps, nest scraps. Should be in here somewhere. Nest scraps. Yep, 1 star. Crushed for cold, boiled for hot. So I am just going to... Nest scraps. It's +2 in the winter, but forest is -3 for animal, so... 4-3. Okay, boiled. Nest scraps. Oh god. What am I doing here? So I'll be fine there. It's just fine. I will go ahead and probably use the salamander urine for the cold too, to be honest. Have. Let's see. Okay. Oh god, there's so much. So if I do that, is there anything for bones or skin in either of those? No, there's not. Is there anything for pain at 2? I need pain 3. Pain 2 is down here. Sleep, nerves, and wound. Wound I need a 3 on, so unfortunately that's not the best, but I can note it just in case. Just in case, just in case. I'm not gonna get rid of that entirely, though. Glitter Snow is Curse and Magic, but only at a 2. I need Curse and Magic 3. That's not going to cut it. Cynic Ivy, Senses and Magic, 3 each. I need Magic 3, but if I can double it with something else, that's better. Glacier Moss, Dehydration and Lungs, none of that. Blood and Curse on Moon Moss. Is there Blood and Curse? There's Curse. There's not Blood on either of those. I could do it. I could potentially do better. I don't know. I don't know. There's too many things in this. Wound and Burn 2, but that's not going to help me. Pain 1. No, that's not going to work. Nimbus Fish. Mouth, Feet, and Infection. I do need Feet 3. So technically, Nimbus Fish could work. Mouth and Infection aren't useful for either of those. I have more salamander urine. Oh my goodness. 2 of those that I didn't realize were both in there. That's okay. I'll get rid of 1. Ambergris. Senses cold and pain. Huh. I mean, there's no senses in this, but cold and pain would be covered. The thing is, cold and pain are both, I think, level 2 in that. I got rid of it for the salamander urine. Oh, I'm gonna continue. I'm just gonna continue. Time and magic, time and magic, time and magic. Yes! Fossil fish takes care of both time and magic. I'm just going to automatically put that in. So, just get rid of that from the on hand. CB saliva, wound, pain. Honestly, I could just do that instead of innocent suffering. It takes care of both of those. Otherwise, blood, nerves, and senses, and that's not going to help that much, so... yeah, I think I'm just gonna, instead of doing the innocent suffering, I will just get rid of this. I'm just gonna put CB saliva. Okay. This is maybe gonna work. Maybe. I need Stomach 2 for this one alone. I need Stomach 2, Ghoul 3, and Curse 3. If I can get Ghoul and Curse on a single thing, that would be great. I don't know if there is such a thing. And they both need to be a 3 is the thing. Vampire Venom alone is Curse. I have not been paying much attention here. Wound and pain, I'd be doing the CB saliva already, so that's gone. Dehydration and poison. Parasite and sleep. Magic, curse, and mood. Pretty much covered. Hot and magic. It's only 1 star, though. Mort, spoils, or time. I don't think any of those are needed. Parasites and infection, not needed. Teeth, bones, and hair. No, no, no. Curse and rash. No, no. Ear, blood, and stomach. No, I need stomach 2, so unfortunately that will not work. Venom can be distilled for curse, but it would be curse alone. I really want ghoul and curse, but I'm not sure that's possible. Yeah, it's spirit and ghoul for Snake's Promise. That is unfortunate. Okay. Right, let me look at my special locale upgrades. 1 second. Senses and magic. Done. Pain, sleep, nerves, and wound. No. Well, technically I could put innocent suffering on the nerves up here, so... Unfortunately, it's too low for the pain. I want... I just might have to use it. It's fine. It's fine. I am not getting perfect on either of these, and I should not be trying to think that way. Frankly, it's like... Okay. So far, the only thing I need to forage for so far is the nest scraps. I might need more. We will see. We will see. Because unfortunately, I do need to get rid of the pain, and I could just do pain and nerves, giant spider venom that takes care of both of those. So instead of innocent suffering, it's just giant spider venom. Okay. Have. Which just means Nimbus Fish is feat 3, which, you know, have, so, good. Okay, so I need Ghoul 3, Curse 3, Stomach 2. That's all I need. And I have stuff that does Ghoul and Curse, I think. Or at the very least, I definitely have Curse stuff. It's just that I've been picky and wanted to do Ghoul and Curse at the same thing, but I might not be able to. So Snake's Promise could just be Ghoul. And Curse 3 star could be Ghost Goo. Stomach 2. I've got Stomach 1. It's not enough. Oh, man. Okay. Is Stomach 2 available on any of these things that I have just on hand? I don't think so. Let's check the fish tanks real quick. Because I do have more stuff there. Nope, nothing there. Okay. I'm going to be going back over all this in order to actually mark things off. But this is getting, silly. Let's see. Legends of Glimmerwood Grove. Let's see if there's anything for 2 stars and stomach by any chance. It's all I need. I just need to find something that takes care of that. Okay. Deep Reed is only 1 star, so no. Crowcoal, actually, would take care of that. And I think I might have that on hand, but I might not. So let me just check here real quick. I may not have Crowcoal. But it's not bad. It's not hard to find. I do not have Crowcoal. That's fine. That's fine. Bog, technically 2, because it's magic. So... Okay, I was not expecting it to be this much, but... That's what happens when you draw your first pair and one of them is a double. Alright, so just to go down the thing. Saturday night, we are doing the nest scraps, which we need to get. However, I'm going to go into edit mode so I can just scratch things off. Nest scraps we will be getting. We need giant spider venom, which I think is in here. No, it might be in my, hold on. It might not be something I have on the on-hand. It might be something that I have in my can grab. I think it is. Giant spider venom is for grabbing, and it is unfortunately going to add a point of poison, but that's fine. We have so many options. Let's see. Distilled. Spooder venom. 1 poison. And the last thing is Nimbus fish, which is just crushed scales, and I think that's one that I have in here. There we go. 1 Nimbus fish. That doesn't change anything like that. So, we are basically putting 1 poison in that, but we will be able to take care of that very easily. For the time zombie. Snake's Promise, I think, is something that I have in here. I just have to find it. And delete it. Snake's Promise. 2 poison. I better note that real quick. 2 poison. Okay, but we have it, and so we can just scratch it. Ghost Goo is right here. Doesn't give any bonuses or detriments, so we will just delete that. Sea Beast Saliva, again, I think it's in here, even though I also grabbed some for my permanent stashes, but also I'm just gonna clear things. Ooh, I don't remember what it was for. Was it Wound and Pain? It might have been Wound and Pain. Yeah, I think so, because I think it was like Pain 2 and Wound like 3 or something like that. Yeah, Pain 2 from Temporal Hiccups and Wound 3 from the Botched Resurrection, which means we are boiling it. And it does not change anything in terms of poison or sweet, so we good to go. Salamander urine was one of our top things, and that is 1 sweet, so technically, internally, this has already cancelled out the 2 poison from the Snake's Promise. However, I can also just use the Moonstone and just benefit from the sweet being in there, so, you know, it's fine. Which is funny, because this is the one that gets doubled. I'm gonna do that. Anyway. I think it was raw. Yeah. Because this is the one that we're curing cold. 1 sweet. Okay. Get rid of that. Fossil fish. I think that there's an entry on here that I want to clear, if at all possible. Yes it is. There we go. And that's for time or magic. I think both. And that doesn't change anything. We're just getting, we're just getting rid of it. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. And then I just need to get the crow coal. Bloody hell, guys. Save changes. Alright. Okay. So, again, the only things I have to worry about getting: Nest Scraps, Forest 3, Crow Coal, Bog 2. We have so much time. Oh, God. And I can just go, like, pick things up as I go along. If I want to grow another crow cola for this, I can. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's go to the forest, and let's try and get those nest scraps first of all. So, in the Glimmerwood Grove, on an 8, we have most definitely found the nest scraps that we require. What else have we found on an 8? We found a problem! Without realizing it, you wandered into the Weaver's Wood, the domain of the giant spiders. You can hear them whispering to each other about how best to eat you. Yeah, we don't like that. We don't like that at all. Unfortunately, we do not have a traveling stone linking this anywhere. So, we've gotten our nest scraps. And I think that we magically call in a, I think we magically create a smoke bomb and escape. I don't know how spiders react to smoke, but I'm just going to assume that it is not favorably, and so it's going to cover an escape and we get out of there. We are not going to necessarily hang around. Well, I mean, technically we could. What do we need here? We could grab some Cynic Ivy. I think that might be in the forest. Let's see. Amethyst antlers definitely are, but they're also more commonly in the bog. Easier to find, for sure. Though, yeah, no, it's a difference of 3, so it's the same either way. Cynic Ivy is also easier in the bog. Easiest on the mountain. So it's not really any difference. So you know what? I think we're just gonna leave it at that. We're just gonna get moving. So technically we decrease timer by 1 more for basically escaping the spiders. We decrease by 1 to get to the bog. There we go. With that, we've got crow coal to get. 9, we've definitely gotten it. Rounding some gnarled willow, you spy a crashed airship tangled in the grasping branches of the swamp's canopy. It's the one we found before. We'll climb aboard. What do we find? Well, probably the crow coal, to be honest. Not enough for multiple issues, but enough for this first one. So we have both of the things we really need. Let's see if we can find some more crow coal in the area. Alright. So, searching for crow coal, we find a likely location. Collect it. And then start moving on. As while floating along, however, says your boat hits something under the waterline and tips over. As you flail back to semi-solid ground, you find a few leeches on your arm. Lose 2 foraging points as you deal with it. Technically, we do not have or need foraging points right now. We've got what we needed. Okay. Save changes. Let's see, that was 1, that was spiders, that was movement, that was that event, that was another event. Okay. Let's go ahead and see, shall it be the Cynic Ivy? Ooh, Whisper of a Cat. No, that's forest, so I would have needed to get it before. That's okay. Amethyst antlers. -4 in winter, so this is technically at bog 4 instead of 8. Let's see if we can just pick some up. Okay. Queen. While walking along a fallen tree, you fall through and inhale a lungful of mushroom spores. Your vision goes strange, and for a moment you feel connected to a network hundreds of miles wide. As you snack back, you have a fleeting memories of where various reagents are. Gain 4 foraging points, which I do not need. You have strange dreams that night. What do you dream of? I mean, I've been having strange dreams for a bit, apparently. Alright, so, unfortunately, not really anything useful. But we do manage to find our amethyst antlers. And these things are not going to be bog found, so... yeah. Alright. I think... you know what? Let's make a stop in the village on the way back for Whisper of a Cat. It's been a while since we've done any village exploration. So, Village 2, basically magic dumps that all the way down and it's minimum 1, so we will find that even on a 1. You take a seat by the town fountain and watch the water. As you sit there, someone joins you. Who is it, and what happens? Huh. We're sitting there, collecting whispers from a cat, apparently. Who shows up? I imagine one of the various villagers that we have. Let's see, who seems interesting? Let's see. Scrolling. I don't imagine that, let's see. I feel like I really haven't fleshed out the villagers enough to come up with something very interesting here. Possibly someone comes over. We've had Glon the farmer who lost his pigs and suffered from Saturday Night Fever once. Normer, who was the brat that trampled the gardens in the first week. Garrett the reeve. Marco, his son. Xavier, hunter, who caught hover hives. Mercutio the baker. Honestly, Mercutio the baker, I feel like we've had more interactions with than anybody else, just because of little things and also giving him a lot of problems. Mercutio the baker comes over and sits down, a bit of a rare break from being busy. It might be a little later in the day, so maybe he's all sold out on bread and hasn't gotten into prepping for the next day yet. I think it's just a quiet moment, honestly. Okay. Okay. With that, let's go ahead and head back. Start making potions with, oh god, everything. Okay. So, here's some fun stuff. Number one. I can just use the Moonstone almost with impunity because I've got so much purifying water vial stuff. So I'm using the Moonstone on both of those to clear all points of poison. After that, it's a matter of basically divvying up my sweet bonuses. I can add, technically, 4 points of rock candy rock, whatever the case may be, to each of those. I can add a Josephite to each of those for 4 points of sweet. So this is about to get real goofy. Alright, so first of all, let's just do the Saturday Night Fever one. Let's go ahead and fix Peter the Scribe. So, Peter gets, I'm gonna go ahead and save the Fox's +1 sweet for here. I'm going to, yeah, I'm gonna maximize this. This is so stupid. I'm not gonna have enough, like, honey and sun sugar to do something in every single potion, but that's okay. I'm gonna put honey in his. So he gets 1 + 5, that's, 1 + 4 is 5 points of sweet. So that is 20. I gotta do math. Plus 50 plus 10 is 80, times my little mercenary is 120. 164. Now here's a question of fairness. Does the little mercenary 50% silver apply before or after the doubling of silver on the second potion? I don't know that it really matters, to be honest, but maybe it does because I do not know the transitive properties necessarily of that percentage. No, it does matter, I think. Because if you double the silver first, then her 50% applies to the doubling. I think. It'd be the same either. I don't know now. I think it'd be the same either way. My brain is not doing even simple math right now. That's why I have the calculator out, by the way. Okay, Time Zombie is where we're getting real funny. Time Zombie, once you clear the poison out with the Moonstone, has 2 points of sweet naturally. It's getting the Fox for a 3rd point of sweet. It's getting the rock candy, that adds 4, that makes 7. I'm putting in the sun sugar for 10 points of sweetness. This should not be allowed. This is literally a potion sweet enough to wake the dead, because that's what it's doing. So, 10 points of sweet times 4 is 40. Plus my 50 for reputation. I'm going to be very fair. I am not going to apply the 10 for the treatment room. So that's times 2, times 1.5 for the mercenary, 270 from that potion. Guys, I think we basically made almost 400 silver from the 1 week, from the 2 potions. Bloody hell! Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. There's still downtime, by the way. What the heck? Okay. 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 I don't even know what to do at this point. There's so much. There's so much. I've given myself so many problems. Okay. Okay. Hecking downtime. as usual, we're going to send Eljiva on to a completion mission for the Museum of Magic. We're going to send her... What's something kind of down here that I'm not going to do? I'm going to send her to go get a goat's echo. So that's just going to be something being taken care of. In the meantime, I'm going to go for some sea beast saliva. Real quick, let me go ahead and find where that is. I think that would be in the depths is where I want to go. Yep, depths 4. It's animal, so I don't get any bonuses. Let's do that, though. Let's do that. So, depths 4. 3, just barely not enough. Just barely not. Okay. Dreamwater depths out of 3. Interesting. Your foot gets caught in a piece of kelp. As you pull your foot loose, the kelp and all the strands connected to it glow with bioluminescence. In the short-lived light, you can quickly scan your surroundings. Gain 4 foraging points, which would be more than enough to get us the sea beast saliva. We can now get that taken care of. So, we have that potion made, and we are ready for whatever comes after. Since we are down here in the depths, I think that we could potentially just sort of find a few things. Oh no, everything we need is in the loch, not the depths. Well then. That's fine. That is just fine. Okay. We'll head up to the surface of the loch. And let's go ahead and do a little bit of running around up there. We're gonna look for the driftwood memories. And instead we're going to get a little bit more finale info. This is the luggage. We are not getting luggage. That doesn't help us. 3. You have a vision. Flashes of the witch's current location and situation. It's rapid and obscure. What did you see, hear, and or feel? I think that basically at this point, I'm going to no longer really count too much the jokers that show up. I think we have all the information we really need. At this point, we're just getting the tools together, and then opportunity. This would just be another waking dream. So, driftwood memories. We've certainly gotten them. I'm just going to note that here in case we lose anything from this forage. Okay. On a 6. It is the Kushi. The bark across the lake. We have to hide and decrease the timer by 1. So not a lot of time left for searching anything up. I'll say we'll go for a smooth croak. Relatively simple. It's the bottle washing ashore. It's been a long time since I've even touched that. We had a pen pal. But it was so long ago that I've genuinely forgotten most of those elements, most of that concept. It really has been a while. Let's see. Let's see. Where is anything about that. Because I don't remember at all who the pen pal was. Yeah, and I'm not finding it immediately, so unfortunately, when we get the pen pal letter, that is something that I might not have noted very well. I don't have a NPC note at the top of my document. So it's somewhere hidden in the various entries that I've written, but I don't remember how long it's been since the last one that I came across. Okay. Just gonna go ahead and mark the driftwood. And the smooth croak. Since I did find both of those. Save changes. There we go. Okay. Yeah, this is going right along. Alright. We'll head on home. Recall and reshuffle everything. And get ready for the final month of winter. We have the barrier staff, technically, ready, aside from a final blessing from something of power. Which means that in the next segment, it is actually going to be beneficial, despite our bonuses and stuff, to go and explore a lot, to spend as much time as we can and have available to us on every ailment, trying to go through areas, trying to stumble across something helpful. And then at that point, hopefully, we can go and help Agnes. For now, though, that's enough for time being, and, yeah, thanks for hanging out if you did. Have a good one. Until next time. So long.